But I was on a call with Barry Habib with MBS Highway. And one of the things that he was talking about, and I think he had actually talked to someone in the Trump administration. I forget who it was. Maybe it was Scott Bessent. Maybe it was Pulte, or somebody that he had had a conversation with about Fannie and Freddie. And they said one, proposal that isn't really being talked about, but is definitely an option is, right now we have Fannie and Freddie in conservatorship. They're under the FHFA. They're essentially ran by the government, right? So we say, well, the other option is for them just to go back to being public companies, right? Just publicly traded companies, publicly ran companies. Of course, they would still need their securities to have the backing of the federal government. So it would be more similar to the way things were prior to, say 2008 during the big meltdown. There would still be this, guarantee of the mortgage-backed securities, giving them the ability to be a very low-risk investment for investors. But one other idea that Barry said is being talked about, which I thought was interesting, is the idea of not necessarily keeping them under conservatorship, but keeping the majority of the stock owned by the government. So still allowing them to become public companies, but with the government being the primary benefactor of the, success of Fannie and Freddie, right? So it would kind of be a hybrid situation where, yeah, they're public, but we retain a large ownership of that stock, allowing it to raise additional capital, to have the other benefits of a publicly traded company, but still let our taxpayers, and this was kind of my argument in that last episode, is the taxpayers bailed out Fannie and Freddie, which was necessary, in my opinion, and you could not have let Fannie and Freddie collapse back in 2008. But nonetheless, we gave them kind of that hard money loan, if you will, and we should benefit. The taxpayers should benefit, in my opinion, from any future revenue or profits that are generated by those agencies, because essentially they were failed agencies. They needed to be taken over by the government. The government is funded by our tax dollars. In my opinion, we should be able to continue to benefit from that for years to come. Ryan made some good points in that episode about, are all those funds, that the profits being, used the way that they should, to further promote Fannie, Freddie, and the housing industry? I mean, that I don't know, but definitely a good question.